Factoring trinomials when the leading coefficient is not 1. This is also using the new method. Now, when the leading coefficient is not 1, there are a few more steps to learn because there are more possibilities for your answer. We will slightly change the trinomial to make it easier to factor. Now, here are the actual steps. We're going to use some of the steps that we used when we were factoring trinomials where the leading coefficient was 1 and add a few more. So, the first step is to multiply the first coefficient by itself and by the third term. This is how we're changing the trinomial. And again, just like the last time when the leading coefficient was 1, we're going to write two sets of parentheses. We're going to find the square root of the first term. This is also the same from the other method. We're going to bring down the first sign and multiply the signs to get the last sign. This is also part of the last lecture. Then we're going to list the factors of the third term and choose the set that add or subtract to the middle term. Write the highest number first. Steps number 2, 3, 4, and 5 are the same steps that we use to factor when the leading coefficient is 1. And the last and final step, divide by the factors of the number you multiplied in the first step. So the only new steps here in this case are steps number 1 and number 6. And basically, since we're changing the trinomial in step number 1, step number 6 is us changing it back. So let's follow these steps in some examples. The first step says to multiply the first coefficient by itself and by the third term. So our new trinomial is going to look like this. 2 times 2 is 4, so we're going to write 4x squared. We're not going to change the middle term at all. That's going to remain the same. And 2 times 12 is 24. Okay, now we're going to use a lot of the steps from before. Write two sets of parentheses. We're going to find the square root of the first term, which is 2x. We're going to bring down the first sign, which is negative. A negative times a negative is a positive. And then we're going to list the factors of 24. Which the factors of 24 are 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 6 and 4, and 8 and 3. Now, which one of these is going to give us a 5 in the middle? Well, the only possibility is 8 and 3. And we always write the highest number first. Now, the step that's different is the last step, which is to divide by the factors of the number you multiplied by in the first step. In the first step, we multiplied by 2. So that means we need to divide by 2 in the last step. So we're not just going to divide by 2, but we're going to divide by the factors of 2. So 2x minus 8 divided by 2 leaves us with x minus 4. And since 2x plus 3 is being divided by 1, it doesn't change. And this becomes our final answer. Let's try that again with another problem. Here we have 6x squared plus x minus 1. The first step says to multiply the first coefficient by itself and the last term. So we're changing the trinomial to be 36x squared. Again, the middle term does not change, plus x minus 6. Step number 2 is to write the parentheses. Step number 3 is to find the square root. The square root of 36x squared is 6x. Then we should bring down the first sign, which is a plus. A plus times a minus is a minus. And then we're going to list the factors of 6, which are 1 and 6 and 2 and 3. And the only way to get the middle term of 1 is with the factors 2 and 3. And again, you always list the highest one first. Now again, the very last step is to divide by the number that you multiplied by in the first step. Now since we multiplied by 6, we want to divide out by 6 too, but not just the number 6, factors of 6. So in this case, we're going to divide by 3 times 2, because 3 times 2 is 6. Also, 6 and 3 are divisible by 3, and 6 and 2 are divisible by 2. So this way it works out evenly for us. So 6x plus 3 divided by 3 is 2x plus 1, and 6x minus 2 divided by 2 is 3x minus 1. And this is our final answer. Let's try a few more examples. Here we have 6x squared minus 19x plus 10. Again, the first step says to change the trinomial by multiplying the first term by itself, which would give us 36x squared. We're not going to change the middle term, and 6 times 10, which is 60. The next step is to write your parentheses. Then you should find the square root of the first term, which is 6x. You bring down the first sign, which is a minus. A minus times a plus is also a minus. And then you need to list the factors of 60, which are 2 and 30, 3 and 20, and 4 and 15. Now, which one of these is going to give us 19 in the middle? Well, the only possibility is 4 and 15. And again, you always write the highest number first. Now, you cannot forget the last step. You have to divide out by the factors of the number you multiplied by in the first step. Since we multiplied by 6, again, we want to multiply by 3 times 2. 6x minus 15 divided by 3 leaves us with 2x minus 5. And 6x minus 4 divided by 2 leaves us with 3x minus 2. And that would be our final answer. And let's just try one more. Again, first step is to multiply the first and the last term. So I get 8 times 8, which is 64, x squared, minus 14x, plus 40. The next step is to write our parentheses. The square root of 64x squared is 8x, 8x. The next step is to bring down a first sign, which is minus. A minus times a plus is also a minus. And then we want to list our factors of the third term, which are 2 and 20, 4 and 10, and 5 and 8. Which one of these is going to give us 14? The only possibility is 4 and 10. And again, you write the highest number first. Since we multiplied by 8 in the first step, we want to divide by 8. But instead of just dividing by 8, we're going to divide by 2 times 4, which is still 8. So 8x minus 10 divided by 2 leaves us with a 4x minus 5. And 8x minus 4 divided by 4 leaves us with a 2x minus 1. And that is our final answer.